Today's agenda, we're going to introduce everyone to Alibaba.com Match, and we have our special guests, Jay Wang and Liz Jia, and they are the two creators of Alibaba.com Match, and they're also the ones who will be running the service. This is a really wonderful way for you to get to know them, ask your questions, and realize who you're who you're leaving your business in the hands of. If that makes sense, because they're very wonderfully talented people. And then after that, we're going to have a Q&A where we'll address your questions. Remember, leave them in the Q&A box. And then finally, we'll wrap up then. We have a special surprise for you, for everyone who is joining us today. So here's a short introduction to Jay and Liz. Jay is the Director of User Operations of Alibaba.com North America, while Liz is the Operation Manager at Alibaba.com North America. Please, everyone, let us welcome our two guests.
Hi, everyone.
Oh,
hello.
Really cool. I don't know if you guys realize in the chat that there's a bunch of people coming from all over the states. There's like California and Connecticut and Michigan and Pennsylvania. So big audience today. Thank you so much for coming. And thank you guys so much for having your time here as well. Why don't you guys briefly introduce yourselves and what you do and how you guys came up with Alibaba.com Match?
Yeah, I think I will go first. Hi, everyone, from Pasadena, California. This is where me and Liz, my team, based. Currently, I'm working for Alibaba.com US for more than 7 years, and I think the reason that we carry out this service is when we deal with all the US buyers every day, and at the same time, when they come to our website, try to connect with all the global suppliers on the Alibaba.com website, it feels like on top of what they can do by themselves, right? Just search, talk with all the suppliers, etc. It feels like there is certain opportunities or difficulties they have to overcome. For example, like talking with them using the different languages that they speak, and also use the time zone, and also the long process of vetting the suppliers by themselves and talking with each one of them. They might be taking like a 1 month or something to finalize, okay, this is going to be my red match or good suppliers to go with. So this is the we hear a lot from our suppliers. So that's the reason why we try to design this like based US local services carried out by Alibaba.com US team, and try to talk with all the US suppliers and also understand their sourcing need, then help you to do the finding and the matching of the services. So you don't have to do it by yourself. Then all the US small business will be benefit from efficiency and also easier to connect with the global suppliers.
How about Liz?
Yeah, so this is my 5th year working for Alibaba.com. I was born in China, studied and lived in South Korea for 8 years, and moved to United States in 2015. And after that, I moved quite a few places, from Hawaii to New York to Portland, Oregon, and now I'm in Pasadena and running this Ali Match program. So while I move around the globe, one thing I found is that trust is the base for any human interaction. And I also conducted quite a few of like different projects, from like export like a Korean drama and like garbage disposal system to China. But it doesn't really matter what's the product or project. For any business connection, it's a human behind it. It's the human connection that matters. And that trust, that human connection is actually the key to our Alibaba.com's B2B business. And it's also the key for our Ali Match. Because Ali Match, there is one intention, that is to help the business involved to grow. And that growth is actually based on trust, on human trust. So we're going to earn your trust first from here, from local, the United States, to understand your business. You trust us, and then we will help you to build the trust between you and the matches, the suppliers. So that's why we create this Ali Match, and that's also why we think this is important.
Yeah, I mean, let's take a step back. And first, I don't know how many people in the audience are completely familiar with how exactly this all works. So how, I know you guys have kind of run trials of it in other countries, kind of just to like test it out. So how exactly do you create these matches? Or like, how does this work?
Yeah, so I will take that question. For our audience, for our customers, the step is really pretty simple. You only do three things: talk with us, tell us about your business story, about your request, and then we will do all the matchings. We will do all the work behind the scene, and you just need to follow along in the email thread. And you like connect with the seller, and then you give the answers, you reply. But behind the scene, there is a whole Alibaba network exists. So we have over 20 business units. And in the United States alone, we have 6 business unit covers from buy to sell, from domestic to international, from B2B to B2C. So, and we have on Alibaba.com, we have over 200,000 suppliers, like business as suppliers. So it's a vast network. How we work is we not only do the data searching from our vast database, but we also reach out to the local team. We have local teams in over 15 countries across Europe to Southeast Asia. So we reach out to the local team and ask them to recommend the suppliers to us, because sometimes their information is not complete on the website. So if you're conducting this on your own, you're probably not going to find a lot of the information. But because we have the local team, we have the advantages. They will give us the right matches. And then after that matches, we will host a video meeting between you and the supplier or your matches, and trying to help both ends to evaluate if the other one is a good fit for you business, because we want a balanced and healthy relationship for this connection. That's also the purpose of the other match. So we want you and the other business both can grow and both can benefit from this process. But again, for our customer, the process is very simple. Talk with us and follow along. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, Jay, do you have anything to add? Because for me, I just think it's really great that it's a really wonderful way to introduce new business partners to people. And, after they get matched, it's like they have the, their contact information for them. So they can always continue building that relationship even after paying the one-time fee.
Yeah, I think these already introduced the detailed process of how we work, so how the com match works. But I just want to add one thing, that is for the benefits of all the US small business, it's really like a white glove services or a value-added services on top of what we already have in the website, which you can further leverage by working with a real human being in the US and talk with us, and we understand your need. We take it from there and also help you to connect with the global suppliers.
Right. Okay. Well, like I feel like with, for example, with these like cross-cultural and sometimes cross-global like connections and stuff, do you guys have any like favorite case studies or things that happened in the pre-trial that you want to share, if you're willing to share?
Yeah, I will also go ahead. So I have a friend, his name is John, and he had a supplier which he has worked with for over a decade, this manufacturer. And the relationship was okay, was great, until his last order where he found 50% of defective rate. So he has to spend $20,000 on shipping and another $1,000 to dispose the entire container of product. About a year ago, John already sent some of this like weirdness. So he asked my help to manage this supplier. I knew it was a bad match after I talked with this person. And because this manufacturer, they do not care about John's business. They only care about their own business. So I recommended John the Alibaba.com, but unfortunately, he didn't have the time to come up with a plan B to find a new supplier from the site. So I did the work for him after I learned his story about like wasting the money. So I did the work. I recommended 3 verified suppliers from Alibaba.com. I also introduced the program Trade Assurance, which protects the buyer and supplier from like holding the money on the platform. And also under the contract, you will have the details like be protected. And because we're holding the money, so buyer, you have the peace of mind. Because if something happened, then at least we can do the refund. So with those both programs manage the supplier, John actually placed the order with the new seller that I recommended. And well, the defective rate is definitely under 5%. So he's happy because there is something program like a trade assurance and verified supplier managing the suppliers for him. And now his business is looking at a tripled profit, even though the product unit price is significantly higher than the suppliers he worked with before. But still, he's happy. He's like making money. And the most important thing is he's now equipped with the knowledge to find the right match for his business to ensure that his business can grow and thrive. I think that's a story that also behind the Ali match.
It's like figuring out those red flags, I guess. Just like just like when you're making any kind of relationship or friendship, there's some red flags that you need to figure out.
Yeah, I'm sure many of you have like have the experience trying to get out of a bad relationship. It takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of effort. Sometimes you just need someone to push you to the right direction.
Like, hey, maybe you should reconsider this. I might have a better friend for you. Do you have any cool stories from like your experiences with Ali Match, Jay?
Yeah, I think from the commercial or business that we helped with, we see the use case or most of the cases comes from two sides. So like most of the time they think either their product is a customized product. They have to build things from scratch, from zero, and then they have to have someone understand what they are producing for, and then carry the things from zero and into a formal production process. So this is the most case that we deal with. And on top of that, the supplier, right? Some of them you do have a requirements or at least that certain criteria that you have to meet, right? Either the certification, either their skill, either the QC process they have, right? It's just the case that we see all along, right? All the business that they want from their partners, how they looks like, right? This is the all the general case. But one special case I want to talk for this question is, so we recently have another program. It's for a nonprofit perspective, because we're helping Pakistan government try to help them to finding some of the cost-effective laptops. They will be distributed into all the Pakistan schools, right? So I think their requirements are, so first, the laptop have to be cost-effective, right? They cannot afford too expensive things, and also the functions are also customized. So I think, right, so we just want to take our knowledge or the expertise that we have and then help them to find the right supplier who can help them to produce that one. I think that's also a interesting and also another showcase that to return to the whole society.
Yeah, I mean, it's really great to see like how in this case, it was able to give back to society and help a bunch of little kids access like laptops and stuff. And actually, you have at least one person tuning in from Pakistan. So shout out to Umair from the people sending in their like countries that they're zooming from. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, so I guess there seems to be like a wide variety of different use cases that I can imagine Alibaba.com Match being used for. What are your hopes for the service, maybe like in 5-10 years or so?
Let you go first.
Yeah, I'll take the question. So I think for today, for now, we're helping in the first phase of you trying to in the whole cross-border chain, right? So like finding the right supplier. It is the first but very important start beginning. But I think, for example, the whole chain services also included some other things. For example, like a payment, like logistics, inspections, even the local fulfillment, etc., etc. That'll be all you need, right, to finalize all your cross-border trading or your local business. So with that being said, we're trying to help from beginning for the first way, and then we're currently designing the whole other services that you need in order to make it easy to do this cross-border business.
Very cool.
Yeah. Alibaba's mission is always make it easy to do business anywhere, right? And with this Ali Match, I would like to see in the future, we create a community like where there are more diverse business connections, not just like a US buyer to Chinese supplier or to Vietnam supplier. I would like to see those businesses help each other in a different way with this community access. Because right now, with 23 years of Alibaba's experience, we already built an internal network that is great. We are cover all these different countries, but we want those to benefit more like small businesses. With access of this Ali Match, you can actually access the entire network where we have accumulated during those years, and you can connect to that one business that probably somewhere else in the world very easy, very painless, and you can do like create and build the trust together. That's what I would like to see.
Yeah, and I'm assuming that because we do have so many local teams and stuff, that maybe people aren't considering where their next business partner can be or where their next supplier can be. So this like opens up like a world of possibility for people. And actually, like actually there's like one person who actually shared a story in the comments. Like Tessie said that she lost $6,000 because she was dealing with a supplier without FDA and her goods were destroyed by customs or something. And I'm assuming with our service that it would like prevent stuff like that from happening.
Yeah, so yeah, exactly. So the service is not really like a after service, like it's more like a prevention, because when we found out a lot of this dispute, a lot of this loss is because there is a communication difficulties. Sometimes we forget to say things. And if you have like used Alibaba.com and you have like done this business for a while, you know, it takes a long time to do that communication, right? It takes probably like a month. Over a month, like you already said 100 different things, and there is nothing that really lived like in the contract or something to protect you. So sometimes it's lost in the conversation and supplier forgot, right? And then that's exactly why we have this business. We have professionals, we have the expertise to manage that. And we are going to bridge that communication gap from the beginning. We're going to check every checkbox where you said this is a hard requirement, you have to have it, and we will check that with supplier. And then after making sure everything's okay, we will also help you to go through the sampling process. That's also like further to prevent the damage from happening. And from there, you can like do a test run where you know like who is this supplier and if he can really like make the product they said they can, right? And then from there, you take it to the big order. So we will guide you through the entire process.
Is there anything you want to add, Jay, or?
Yeah, so basically I share the same idea. That is, if you when the order phase receive the goods, right? That's when the problem happens eventually.
Please, Jay.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
However, in order to keep this, and all the later phase will be hello.
Yeah, you're back.
Can you like rewind 5 seconds?
Yeah, sorry, for cut out. I'm just saying the problem happens when you receive the goods or when you place the orders, right? So that's when the problem happens. But you have to like control this problem happens in the first beginning. That is to choose the right one to can avoid the problem happening in the later phase. Yeah, same idea.
Very cool. Well, I think with that, we're going to wrap up the interviewee kind of talking portion, and we're going to start answering questions. Let me pull up the slides. But yeah, hold on a second. So here on the right, you'll see a larger QR code that allows you to scan and then visit the Alibaba.com match website where you can sign up for a consultation with everyone to see whether or not you're suitable for the service. And if you sign up and are able to submit payment within this time period between April 1st and 7th, then you'll be able to receive a virtual Visa $50 gift card. That's our little like, thank you so much for coming today, special gift. So without further ado, I'm going to head into the questions. So the first question I hear, I'm not sure if it's an actual question, but it says, it would be great that Chinese Alibaba.com sellers have warehouses or fulfillment centers in the US to avoid long transit times and to lower the risk to losing goods. I mean, do you guys have like any comment on this kind of comment?
Yeah, I'll take that one.
Yeah.
So within Alibaba networks, we already have a wide coverage of the US local warehouse in East Coast and West Coast. We have over like 2 million square feet warehousing spaces already in the US. And then within that warehouses, we do carry out the goods. Some of them, or most of them, belongs to the China suppliers with like millions of the SKUs in the warehouse, which like you guys can potentially purchase from. And another thing is, so for your own goods, right? So when you import from China, from Vietnam, from Brazil, right, in bulk, so you can enjoy the benefits of the cost, single cost unit will be lower down if you buy in bulk, right? We also offer the warehousing, storage, and also last mile services. So if you don't have your own warehouse, or if you don't want to use the FBA in the first beginning. So yeah, I think the two-way of the leverages of the services.
Very, very cool. The next question is, I'm a small startup in the Middle East and want to know if all matches provided to us will be with suppliers that are all in China or worldwide. Also, what does it cost to join? I feel like a few people asked about what the service costs.
It's definitely worldwide, and that's why you use AliMatch, because for those countries like Mexico, Vietnam, you probably do not have a lot of information on the site that you can really refer. So that's why we are reaching out to the local team, bring that information back. So it's definitely worldwide. And the cost of AliMatch is $999 per request. And then there are some limitations that you can like learn more from the service detail.
Yeah. But it's also not just like one supplier, 999.
No, it's not. It has like, it's up to 5 vendors, up to 5 SKUs, up to 8 vendors, and up to 180 days after the service start date, whichever condition meet first. But to like, you can definitely like having more detailed information after you sign off, and they can explain better.
You can always ask more. Okay, very good. And then
yeah, so I think the fee is really trying to cover all the labor and also time that we spent on helping you guys to do this whole process. Yeah.
I think it's important to like say that it's not like an algorithm necessarily matching you up, it's or an AI or something. It's like humans looking for you. So there's like a human cost.
It is a combination of the human effort plus the data and also the product of our internal system that to make this process more easier and faster.
Right. Also, if you have any further questions, please add it to the Q&A box. Okay, let's move on to the next question. It says, I'm looking for manufacturing in North America, American territories, Central America, or South America. Do you have matches in these areas?
Yes. Yes, we have, but depends on what you're looking for, the items you're looking for, and what type of manufacturers you're looking for. We need to look at details. Then we can make sure like, oh yeah, we do definitely have a match. But if you are talking about, do we have suppliers in those areas? Yes, we do.
Yes, I think we also have like local teams, at least in those places as well. Yeah.
Yeah, we have a US team, most of them based in New York, and we do have Brazil team. Yeah.
Yeah, so like okay, so next question. What type of due diligence is there for an equipment manufacturer?
So depends also, this is like a depends on what your request is, right? And in the first section, after you enter into this AliMatch service, during the first initial introduction and orientation, we will try to understand what's your business like, where are your business heading in maybe 1 year or 3 years. And then we will give you a holistic solution based on your specific business needs. And if you need this certain certificate from the manufacturer, or you need certain machines, we're definitely looking for the suppliers who can meet your exact requirement. So it's not really like a due diligence, but it depends on your request specifically.
Yeah, and also there's like another question that seems related, so I'm going to just read it here. It says, Paul's asking, are there visits to the factory and or other ways to confirm if the supplier is a trading company or an actual manufacturing company?
Yeah, so I'll take that. So I think for all the requirements, we will call it, some are hard requirements or some are optional. And also some are generic requirements that can be used for all the conditions or all the categories, but some are vertical in certain of the categories. I'll say, yeah, those are two most of the use case, like generic, category, vertical, and hard request and optional request. I'll take the example. So for example, the most of the people, they want to know whether this supplier is a manufacturer or they are a trading company, right? This is the generic questions. And for some, or for most of our suppliers, we do have the data to show whether they are a factory and whether they're a trading company. And also, this is inspected by either by Alibaba.com ourselves or by a trusted third-party inspection company, maybe for example like SGS and TUV, which are known inspection company, to verify they are a manufacturer or they are a trading company. And for example, like some other generic attributes are like they're exporting yearly revenue, or they are employee size, right, etc. Those are generic. Okay. So for the category vertical, so for example, I think someone asking for equipment, right? Or certification, etc. Right? So those are like, for food, you're going to require the FDA certification. For equipment, maybe you need ISO 9001, right? Which is another one. And also, for example, you need a injection machine in their manufacturers, or you have a QC process of cooling, of the leak detection, etc. Those are for category specific.
Very cool.
Yeah, I also want to add on that. Sometimes we're saying, oh, I only want to deal with manufacturer. I do not want to deal with trading companies. But it really depends on your request. If you are looking, let's say you are making clothes, right? I want only 300. And sorry, but your quantity is not really meeting the manufacturer bar, because if they are using machine, once the machine turned on, it's going to produce like 3,000 per day. And there is no way for the manufacturer only sell you 300. What are they going to do with the rest 2,000 something, right? So it's not really like, what's your, that's why we also like need to understand your business and understand your pain points. What are you trying to do? When you say, I want trading company, I want manufacturer, what are you really talking? Are you trying to cut the cost because right now you're dealing with middleman? Then we can find someone who maybe not really just like a manufacturer or trading company, but who can meet your exact requirement. That's also the core purpose of this service. It's not just like be like just confused about all this word. We're trying to find what can benefit your business, who is the right match for your business.
All right, very cool. There's another question here that I'm not sure if you, I'm not sure what the answer is. That actually says, so will you handle all the logistics?
So I will also like go first. So there are 3 ways to do this, right? The first way, you can ask the supplier to provide both FOB and DDP. DDP means delivery duty paid, which means they will cover like all the duties and everything till they ship the product to your destination like you gave them. So that's first way. You ask the supplier to do everything. The second way is you already have a freight forwarder that you work with, not only handling the orders with Alibaba.com sellers, but also handle the rest of things that you have. Probably that's the best way, and that's the most cost-efficient way to go. So use your own freight forwarder. If you do not have freight forwarder, and there is a third way, inside of the Alibaba network, we have the logistic department where they also have a office in the United States where we can connect you with them, and they can provide a quote. They can handling the shipping, like they can pick up it from the supplier's warehouse and ship it to your destination, where they can also store your product here in the United States. Depends on your needs, depends on your requirement. Those are 3 ways to handle it.
Okay, really great. And then we have a question. I feel like it was slightly answered before, but maybe we can go into a little bit more specifics. Tessie is asking, for those of us who are in the medical field, we know that medical equipment can be less expensive. Is there a process to determine which equipments are certified?
Yeah, you can always ask, right? Put that in your hard requirement with when you are using the service, and we will definitely do that checklist. And when we reach out to the supplier, we will ask that. And so before you even meet them, you already know they have that certificate.
Okay. And then there's another question from Mohammed. It says, is there a service for delivery and work to Arab countries? I am from Yemen. Can I find services, delivery, and distribution in Yemen?
So I think you're asking for bring things maybe from China to Yemen. If that is the case, we have a website they can look up. It's called Alibaba.com logistics/buyer, which you can look up. Just input your goods weight, your dimension, right, destination, zip code, etc. So you will come up with a quote and go from there. Again, it's called Alibaba.com logistics/buyer.
Very cool. Also, I have some questions now that are more about joining and what the service will be like. So first question is, what is the first step when you join?
Payment?
There should be a little form on the website where you can submit some contact information and someone will reach out to you. Yeah,
I think the here is the website, the QR code which you can scan, and also if you want to type the URL, it is us.alibaba.com/match, right? This is the URL. Yes. Then you can go there and leave your contact information, and then someone from our team will be calling you and further to talk with you about what you need, essential, and also finish the payment process. Then the service will be officially started, and then after you pay for it, right, within certain of the days that we're gonna reach out to you, and then try to schedule a first call between the service team and also between you, right, so to understand what is your business, what are you looking for, etc. And of course, then we're going to be tell you, hey, based on your requirements, how many days or how long that we can return back for your matched suppliers. But usually it's within 30 days for the result. We wish it to be faster, of course, right? So then, but we've just put a maximum that time frame that we can deliver these services, right? And then of course we're gonna connect you with the final chosen suppliers for a video meeting or for a call, right? So then you guys can talk directly with the suppliers, right? Basically, this is the quick overview of the process.
Very cool. This is also process related. So Jesse is asking, how would the service look for the user? I've used Alibaba.com in the past, so I'm curious about the interface. Would it be me giving you data such as I want unit cost to be about $3.50, specific certifications, etc.?
So again, like you will have like the only thing you need to do is to talk with us, and during that first call, we will guide you through, and then we will ask you, what's your goal, right? What's your business goal? And then maybe like something like, oh, I only want $3.55 per piece. I think that comes to the later phase because you want the right supplier first. You do not want to put a price there first. It's not a B2C. You are looking for specific like a price matching. Of course, there are some like price ranges that we will asking and try to find the supplier who can meet that price point. But the purpose is to find someone that you can conduct a long-term business relationship with.
I also feel like it sounds like mostly when they convey their requirements, it's almost verbally. It's not like they have to enter everything through a form or something.
Yeah. That's why like you will just have this meeting, talk with us. We will guide you through everything. We will tell you what exactly you need to give us, and then we will take it over from there.
Which is exactly why I wanted you guys to meet Liz and Jay today, so you understand who you will be talking to if you were to use this service. And finally, this is a very important question. Anonymous is asking, if we're unable to find a match, will there be a refund?
Yes.
So therefore, no risks. Pretty cool. Also, another question is from Paul. Will there be a match contact that remains the same throughout the relationship? In other words, is there something like a specific account manager for us who we can contact?
So a lot of these things will be managed by an email thread. After we connect you with the supplier, right, we'll follow along, and depends on if you feel comfortable to communicate with the supplier directly, or you feel comfortable having us involved. But definitely you can like ask us to like get involved and to help, because you already paid for the service. That's part of the service where we provide you to help you bridge the communication gaps, right?
Okay, very cool. And then there are a few questions here that are like, oh wait, hold on. There are a few questions here that are more on the supplier side of things, actually. So it's kind of interesting. The first one is, how can I become a US Alibaba.com co-packing manufacturer and be a supplier on Alibaba.com match?
Be a supplier. I'm not sure what does be a supplier to Alibaba match mean, but yes, you can definitely be a manufacturer on Alibaba.com if you join our US seller program. And then we can like connect you with the sellers team where you can like understand more information about that. But this Ali Match is a separate service.
Oh, I think
So
what do they need to do to be considered one of the potential like good suppliers to be matched with buyers? That makes sense.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So that is not, there is no certain rules, but the all depends on what our customer, what AliMatch's customer is asking for. So, and it's going through a lot of this evaluation, like mutual communication, where the buyer, the client can define like, oh, if this is a good fit for me. So it's not like, oh, if you're a US seller, then you're a good fit for my clients. Not like that, but maybe some of the buyer, for example, if they are looking for a specifically, I need a supplier from the United States, they need to have a local warehouse, they need to have local manufacturer, they need to produce everything, they need to have all this. And it happens you have all the certificate, then you are qualified to become their match.
Yeah, I feel like this one, I'm just going to read this one really quickly, but I do feel like it's asking a very similar question. So it says, so the service matches us with whatever we're looking for. We are selling our products on Alibaba.com. Do you set us up with customers or people who want to buy our product?
Yes.
So just, I guess it really depends on what are the requests coming in from the buyers who are signing up for this, I think.
I think the first step is always to register and become a Alibaba.com US seller, right? So you can go to seller.alibaba.com for referral for how to become a US seller. And also we do have the people from New York office as well, which you can talk with to become a US GGS seller.
Right. It says, with this service, if I am sourcing, say, for 3 different machines, does the price include all 3?
Yes. So the limit for skill is 5. So inside of that one request, the $999 covers up to 5 skills. So 3 machines covered.
Yeah. And like, here's another one that's kind of related to that. Paul is asking, you keep talking about a first activity. Say we work on a project now for 1 SKU, then in 2 months, we have another SKU to work on. How do we get engaged again for new projects?
Yeah, you can always reach out to us because that is still covered by the service. You just like give us a call saying, oh, I need these 2 skills to be matched. Then we will start to work.
So the rules are up to 5 SKUs, up to 8 suppliers, up to 180 days of the service duration, whichever comes the first.
Okay, great. And finally, I think there are two more final questions. If you have any other final questions you want to ask, please use the Q&A box. First one is from Jesse. Does Alibaba.com Match also connect us with freight forwarders or product inspection services, or is it only for product sourcing?
So I think our major goal, it is for connect with the suppliers, and also that's how we define the rules, right? So that's for up to 5 SKUs and essential, right? Then connect with the suppliers, right? It is our design purposes. But for example, if you're only looking for the freight forwarders, I think that's a side topics, but we can definitely help you and go from there.
Okay. And then the last questions is going to be, is there a similar, less costly service associated with AliExpress? Some products and quantities not fit for a $1,000 price tag.
No. So we do not cover AliExpress. We're looking for the suppliers who's an Alibaba.com supplier. So the connection is right now is just like an Alibaba.com supplier. So for AliExpress, that's a entire different like a logic and entire different flow.
Right. And then finally, final question is, if I join the service, will it decrease the shipping costs?
I don't think so. I don't think that's how it works. It's not really like a decrease the shipping cost, but once you are like negotiating with the suppliers on the shipping price, right? You have your big orders. Now it's time for you to decide if I need to use like ocean shipping or air freight. It's more options there, right? We will recommend like not only the supplier's quote, but we also have the logistic team here, and then can provide you different quotes. So you have like different options to choose from.
Yeah, so thank you so much for all your time. I feel like we ran over a little bit, but today, if you want to, you can scan the top QR code to let us know how you felt about this webinar. If you want to sign up for Alibaba.com Match or learn more about it, because we have some resources on the website too, you can go to the orange QR code at the bottom. Thank you so much for joining us today, Jay and Liz, and thank you so much to our audience for coming to learn more about Alibaba.com Match. We are super grateful that you were curious enough to come join us today. And don't forget about that $50 Visa gift card thank you gift that we will give you if you're able to sign up and pay and everything within the week of April 1st to 7th. Thank you so much for joining us for this launch. We are so excited to provide this service to everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jessica.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Jessica.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone.